Welcome back to Civ 6 Civilization Spotlight, featuring Belgium. Belgium's leader is King Leopold II, and this is an interesting choice to say the least. We'll refresh on the history in just a moment. First, I have to address some new things in these videos. To prove I'm not talking out of my ass, we'll have a few citations dropping down from the tops of your screens, as well as reference to them in the description. Furthermore, all links for everything is available down below. All the mods I'm playing with, the mod for this mod. I like to say mod a lot because some people get worried that this is not a mod and it's actually in Civ. And if you're noticing on your screen in some of the background, I'm playing with Resourceful. It just adds a few new resources to the game. My game settings are Immortal, Fractual, Map, Standard Speed, and a small size. Alright, let's get into it. Belgium is led by King Leopold II, who began his reign not too long ago in the late 1800s. He is most notably known for two things. One, he's being referred to as the Builder King. Huge production wonders and works of architectural brilliance were massively produced during his reign. You might be thinking, wow, that's great, but how could he afford it? Probably no one was thinking that, but he kind of was one of the largest genocidal figures in history. He basically enslaved, beat, exploited, and killed 10 million Congolese. To put that in perspective, one of the more recent massive genocides that we learn about is Hitler, who killed roughly 6 million Jews. So, I mean, who's counting, but King Leopold II did kill 4 million more people. So to be fair, Hitler is also included in this mod pack, so I guess JFD is really going after those ones Firaxis are way too afraid to go after. Anyway, basically he was making a shit ton of money through his rubber plantations in Africa that he forced the Congolese into slavery to maintain. So yeah, let's move on from there. Leader traits. Congo Free State. Culture bomb adjacent tiles when completing a commercial hub, harbor, or plantation. This is a nice ability. I mean, the historical reference, it's weird for me to say it's a nice ability, but it was. It's just kind of a small upgrade. It kind of combines Poland's culture bomb for encampments and Australia's for pastures, except you get the bomb on the resource of Australia and two separate districts, which is also really nice. It also encourages you to build these two kind of districts, which is in why this background gameplay I just bring in so much gold. Honesty, it's really similar to what he was doing, minus most of the killing and slavery. Industrial Furrow. Commercial hub and industrial zone districts provide +1 housing. Industrial zone regional buildings reach 3 tiles further and provide +1 population when completed. This is a great ability. There's lots of fun. Housing pisses me off, and for me it's a huge problem to this game. I hate the housing. I hate how you have a certain amount of citizens you can have. So it's really great to actually get housing from districts that normally aren't known for housing. The reach bonus of +3 is great, I guess. I mean, the factory and power plant already have a 6-tile reach, so it's just a massive amount of spread you can get from these. That was a really powerful ability for me, mainly because my cities were kind of close and I was kind of on my own small continent on the bottom. And most of it was tundra, so I really wasn't getting a lot of production, and each factory just boosted the city. You could notice the pickup. Unique building, Chocolaterie. +1 amenity, yields +1 culture, and also +1 gold on plantations. This is a unique building for the commercial hub. It doesn't replace anything, you could just build it as soon as you unlock it. In mercantilism, I mean, that's pretty late. For me, it was turn 170 when I unlocked it. I wasn't doing great in culture. I mean, my culture was around 40. I know I don't really go culture, but still, I mean, it's a later mid-game building. Still, I mean, I was banging out 6 gold per cotton plantation. The extra amenity just meant that all my cities were at +4, which was really great. I really liked that. Unique units. Chasseur. Industrial era mounted unit. Weaker than the cavalry unit, 55 strength versus 62 strength, and is upgraded with recon-based promotions. No horses required. Basically, it's making the cavalry weaker, but with better movement. I have 2 clips with it. I did not use it very often. It really lacked the strength, and the movement would have been nice if maybe I was on a better location, but in my opinion, unlike Canada, where the Mountie, at least there's a gold reduction, this just wasn't really worth building ever, in the game I was in personally. Maybe you'll find a reason, but to sacrifice strength for movement speed, it's up to you. Force publique. Unlocked in colonialism. Industrial unit that can only be purchased with gold. Ignores movement costs for river crossing. This bad boy cost 1,400 big ones. 1,400 gold. Do you get it earlier than infantry? Yeah, I guess. Especially if you're going for culture, you would get it earlier because it's unlocked in colonialism, which is a culture tree if you didn't know. But is it worth 1,400 gold? Hell no. Infantry is only 5 stronger, and the musketman is only 10 strength weaker. This guy got absolutely smacked. I mean, granted, I did have bare gold, so I could have got a few more, but this guy hardly put up a fight, and I would personally just like buy 2 musketmen. Or don't even buy them. I mean, just make them. They're crazy more efficient than the Force Publique. What am I paying an extra grand for, to cross rivers? It's really just my opinion, but I mean, that's fair too, right? You don't play Belgium for their military. Belgium was fun. I enjoyed making a lot of gold. I think I had 8 grand, like at the most, by like turn 220. That was like the most I ever made, which was pretty fun. The district bonuses and culture bombs and gold and strong mid-game based civ and more gold. I mean, that's why you would play this civ. I can't complain. I didn't have enough money for the Force Publique. I definitely had money. I just mean I would have preferred to buy something else than that. Now let's jump into the ratings, just like Belgium jumped into Africa. Historical representation, 9 out of 10. It was really good. I mean, there was literally one minor thing that was kind of out of era, which was the Chocolaterie, which we'll get to in a second. But starting with the Chasseur, it was pretty accurate. They created it a decent 30 years before King Leopold's reign, but they were used in World War I. More importantly, they were also used in Africa, quite a lot actually. They were excellent for high mobility across the desert plains, and so really not a bad representation at all. The Force Publique was also King Leopold II's main way of enforcing I say quote-unquote enforcing the Congolese to do his bidding. They were mercenaries, and he really did use this exact unit during his reign, so it makes complete sense that they're purchased with gold and they can't be made with production. So the historical representation is pretty good in that area. The Congo Free State, which is his first ability, is literally one of his policies, in which he coincidentally was the only and sole owner of, basically granted him permission to do whatever he wanted to the quote-unquote free state of Congo. Not to mention, he was known for building rubber plantations, so it makes sense for the culture bomb on plantations. Currency, and all of the imports he was doing were actually received by sea, so hence the harbor and commercial hub culture bomb. The only issue I had was the Chocolaterie. It didn't really fit into his gruesome history, and there was not a single reference to the harvesting of cocoa beans or chocolate in his entire page. But I completely understand, the Belgian reference. When I went to Belgium, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of chocolate, had a lot of fries, and had some beer. So that's the only thing that's slightly out of era. Overall, this was a really, really good representation of King Leopold II. Looks, 9 out of 10. Colors were nice, gold and brown. It looks much better than gold and red or red and brown. The image I got for Force Publique was actually black. You might be thinking, you're racist. I'm not racist. You might also be thinking that was a mistake. It's actually not a mistake. The majority of the Force Publique was actually African. There was usually a white officer, a white Belgian officer who commanded the squadron, but mainly the Force Publique was black mercenaries. So that's really good. They textured in a little bit of history. That was really good. Power, 8 out of 10. These guys are strong, like really strong. The only reason I don't give them a 9 out of 10, well, their unique units aren't really worth investing in. Basically, you'll be living off the standard units, but with cash flowing in from all directions and production off the charts, you know you're gonna have a good time. Go ahead, purchase the Force Publique, play around with them if you enjoy. But you don't need to. You are making enough money to really do whatever you want. You have enough production to really build whatever you want. You're gonna have a good time. Personal enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Hell yeah, I enjoyed playing this guy. I mean, he wasn't a great guy in real life, but in this game, I was strong and powerful. I had the Venetian arsenal, as I always do, purchasing my industrial zone buildings with the gold I was earning from my commercial zone. It was just a never-ending cycle, and oh yeah, it was fun. You're just constantly gaining money and units. I would really recommend this mod to all fans of Civ 6. One of the best mods to date for all aspects of what people look for. History, looks, if it's fun, if it's powerful, it's a big yes to all of these. And that's it. Yeah, that's a quick mod review for JFD's King Leopold II. Leave your feedback in the comment section below and leave any other suggestions for mod reviews either with JFD's Civilization Pack or not in the comments to get your comment featured in the beginning of next video. See you then. Good night.